Welcome to the Living a Nordic Life podcast, where we explore a simpler, cosier and more intentional life the Nordic way. I'm Fiona McKenna, your Nordic living guide and founder of Living a Nordic Life, where I share all things Nordic living and show you that a Nordic life is the way to bring intentional calm and healthy habits into your own life, wherever you are in the world. Are you looking for ways to bring simplicity, coziness and calm into your life? Well, let me show you how. Visit the Living a Nordic Life website to explore how I can help you on your journey to simple, healthy and happy calm, the Nordic way. You can subscribe to the podcast right here. And if you want regular inspirational emails sent with love from Norway and straight to your inbox, don't forget to subscribe to the Living a Nordic Life newsletters. And so now let's dive into our episode. Welcome to my Nordic morning routine. I get up at 4:30 a.m. I take a 5-kilometre jog, followed by a broccoli salad and fresh goat's milk. Joking, I'm joking. I don't do that at all. I never jog. That is not me. But have you seen some of those crazy posts on social media recently of people sharing their completely unachievable morning routines? And we're expected to believe that these things are true. They're not, I promise you. So don't look at them and think, oh yeah, they do that. They don't. And if they do something similar to that, it's maybe because they've got a load of staff to do everything for them. But we're normal people and we don't do that. They don't make me feel good, I have to say, even though I know they're not real. They just make me feel a little bit inadequate and really irritated. So I try not to read them or look at them. So I'm going to try and counter that a little as I share my own morning routine. And I'd like to invite you to join me for a few virtual hours. Well, this is not a few virtual hours. This is going to be about 15 minutes. But a few virtual hours in my life as I share how I gently and simply greet the day ahead. I usually wake up at 6 a.m, especially in the summer when it's so light outside so early. But even in September, it's well into morning light by about 7. Now, not all of our choice to get up early in my house is because we want to, I have to say. Quite a bit of it is something to do with Freddie, and Freddie is our cockerel. And he doesn't like to go to bed very early, and he really likes to get up at the dawn. And he gets up and he stands in the doorway of the chicken coop, because we leave the door open in the summer, and crows. And he wakes up the whole village because it's a bit like an amphitheatre. So don't think that all of our choice to get up at 6 a.m. is up to us. It's quite often it's Freddie who decides that he's going to crow about every 10 seconds for about an hour. And that's true. I kid you not. I'll record him one day and you'll be able to hear it. Anyway, I don't very often close my bedroom curtains in the summer. Lots of people in Norway don't close their curtains, actually. Everything is open. And I leave them open in the autumn as well, because I really love to look at the fields if I wake up in the middle of the night. And if you wake up in the middle of the night in Norway in the summer, everything is light. It's almost like daylight, or a bit like dusk if it's about midnight, 1 a.m, but it's certainly not dark. And quite often I see the deer walking across the field as well, so I like that. The first thing I do when I wake up is to look at the beautiful view that I have. There's something about the green and the trees that makes you want to take this deep, relaxing breath in and out. It's lovely. Nature is like that, isn't it? Makes you want to do that. We don't have neighbours on all sides. We have one on one side on the left, and then there's a field of several acres, and there's a house with a little farm. Just although it's not a working farm anymore, but just across the field, and there's an old lady who lives there. She leaves all of her downstairs lights on at night, and they're little wooden windows, so it looks lovely. And the light coming from them early in the morning is cosy and welcoming. If we've had some rain as well, the sound of the water from the waterfall in the valley reaches us, comes through my window. And often I'm so inspired by this view that I take a photo to share with you all. I do that a lot. I'm always sharing photos of my morning view or my view from my bedroom window with everybody in my Facebook group and on social media because I really like it. I look at it, I think, oh my goodness, that looks just like a painting, with the red barn and the typically Norwegian house and the valley with the golden fields and the conifer trees, the pine trees in the background. It's beautiful. I don't think I'll ever get tired of it, actually. Breakfast for me is simple and seasonal. In the autumn, I often eat a few fried mushrooms and maybe some scrambled egg. The mushrooms are usually wild, and I pick those myself. I don't go out in the morning to pick those, don't think I'm that keen. I do sometimes at the weekend, but no, not usually. They're usually something I have in the fridge, and I love chanterelles, and they keep really well in the fridge. I have secret foraging spots, which I never share with anybody, so don't ask because I'm not going to tell you. But I can always be sure that I'm going to find some mushrooms there. Eggs are never in short supply in our house because we have hens. And they lay a lot of eggs. We usually get about 10 eggs a day. On a slow day, we might get 5. And as we get towards the autumn, they start to molt, the chickens. And then they can't regrow feathers and lay eggs. That's just too much energy to use. So they have a little holiday from egg laying. But I usually have some in the freezer anyway. And you can't beat a fresh, free-range egg, can you? Especially when it's literally come 10 steps across the garden. If the weather's colder, I usually make some porridge to share with the girls. Brendan's not very keen on porridge, I have to say. Sometimes he'll eat it, but the girls like it, and it's really nice and filling when the weather is cold. You need a little bit of comfort food, don't you? And it keeps you feeling fuller for longer because it's slow release, and that's great if the weather's cold. I make my own yoghurt as well. No, don't think this is being terribly, kind of I do all of these things, because yoghurt is the easiest thing to make, I promise you. Most of it is just leaving it to do its own thing. And I do have a homemade yoghurt recipe on my website, so go and have a look, because it's really, really simple. It's just 2 ingredients, a little bit of time and some patience, and then you've got fresh yoghurt in the morning. It's really easy and a quick and healthy thing to grab from the fridge when I'm in a hurry. Maybe with a dollop of jam or something in it. Maybe a bit of honey. Perhaps a sprinkle of sunflower seeds. That's really nice. Honey and sunflower seeds and a sliced banana in yoghurt. It's delicious. Breakfast in Norway anyway is usually simple. It's usually simple, seasonal, and almost always includes some wholemeal bread or knekkebrød, some protein of some kind, and it'll be a fairly lean protein like some lean ham or chicken ham perhaps, or hard-boiled egg or gravlax or smoked salmon, something like that. Some fresh vegetables like some sliced cucumber or italiensk salat. I have to confess I'm a bit of a smoothie lover. I love smoothies. My smoothie maker gets a right old hammering. We've gone through so many of them. And in the summer, I get the little thing that you put, the glass container that you make the smoothie in, and I just go out to the vegetable garden and I pick a few leaves like some lettuce, mint, sorrel, courgette leaves. They're great, you can eat those, Anything, dandelion leaves even, anything that takes my fancy and is green, I just chuck that in the smoothie maker with some juice, a little bit of fruit, maybe a piece of avocado, and nuke it up. And within a couple of minutes, I've got a smoothie that's really fresh. And I don't have to worry too much then about the number of vegetables and things I'm eating through the course of the day. But I do love that, and it makes me feel good. Through the week, the children are at school. The older 2 go off on the bus on their own, but Mia walks to school. And as it's only in our little village, it's a nice, easy, gentle walk, regardless of the weather. It doesn't matter what the weather's like. I don't drive her if it's raining. She puts on her waterproofs and her wellies, and we walk. And it's a great chance to get outside. It's sort of gentle way of getting outside. And even if she was at school further away, I think we would still walk, because it's really nice, and it puts her in a good mood as well. And it gives me a chance to say hello to a few people, to be a little bit sociable. Once she's ensconced at school, I can take a few minutes to move a bit, because that's always a good thing to do, isn't it? And it's nice to be able to do that first thing in the morning as well, because then That releases a few endorphins, those happy hormones that we have in our body that are released when we do a little bit of exercise, and it puts us in a good mood and it motivates us. And I like to get out and get some fresh air. So I go home and I grab Mabel, who's our border collie, and she's always keen to take the longest, most active, most athletic, Olympic style walks ever. But I let her run ahead and we head off into the forest for a bit of a walk. Maybe a forage if I find something. I always take little foraging bags, I have to confess. I always have those in my pockets. And some deep breaths of fresh air. Generally, there's no agenda, nothing but just a little bit of time. And we wander about across the forest floor for half an hour, looking at interesting moss. That's what I do. I like looking at reindeer moss. It's a type of lichen actually, but it's lovely. And it's a really lovely colour. Mabel collects sticks for her stick library. She's got that by the front door. So she raids half the forest and we have to carry these things home. And noting what's in flower, or the ripening berries, the sound of the birds, and the smell of the leaf litter on the forest floor. My walk with Mabel serves as my walk to work, because I work from home. And I like that way of compartmentalising it. So I leave the house and I go for a walk, and then I come home and I'm in work mode. So I step back into the house ready to go to my desk, inspired and energised from being outside. By 9 a.m, I'm at my desk, like I am now, talking to you, or tending our little micro farm, seeing to the chickens, or maybe recipe testing the latest recipe that I'm going to share with you on the Living a Nordic Life website. It's simple, seasonal, and follows the rhythm of nature. Getting outside is something that most Norwegians do, as you probably know, every day. In Norway, it's called friluftsliv. That means outdoor living. And it's an important part of Norwegian culture, and one of the reasons that people in the Nordics are so happy and healthy. In my new book, Friluftsliv, How to Love the Outdoors Like You're Nordic, I show you how you too can welcome Friluftsliv into your life, wherever you are in the world. You don't have to be here in the Nordics. And you can find a link to it below this, or you can look on Amazon and just look for me, Fiona McKenna, and you will find it. And I will see you in the next episode. If you've enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the Living a Nordic Life newsletters so you can get an email when I release a new episode. It's a quick and easy way to keep up with all things Nordic living. Please visit livinganordiclife.com. You can listen to Living a Nordic Life on lots of podcast apps, including Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcasts, and plenty of others. If you've enjoyed the Living a Nordic Life podcast, why not leave me a rating? So that's the end of Living a Nordic Life for today, and I look forward to seeing you next time.